Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be tidying up my bedroom, including wiping down my nightstands and vacuuming. I'm going to finally wipe down the outside of my fridge. It has needed it for some time. I'm going to be switching over the month on our main calendar and of course get some laundry done. So if you're ready for all of this cleaning motivation, please keep watching and don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Thank you. As you can see, it has been a while since I have wiped down these nightstands. Oh my goodness, they get dusty so bad. And so what I like to do is, of course, wipe it with a dry microfiber cloth, kind of dust it off, and then go in with like a sanitizing wipe. Or I think here I used my Clorox spray with a different microfiber cloth. It's just so gross to even think about that has just been sitting there and, it's right next to my head when I'm sleeping and Michael's head on his side. But man, I just can't help it. Like life is lifing and it's just so hard to keep up with every little thing in the house. And I know I've mentioned it before, people be making their lists to clean. And at first I didn't really understand because I'm just like, okay, it should be simple, sweep, mop, vacuum, wipe down, but there's just so many little areas in the house that fall to the wayside. And don't get me wrong, I do love lists. Like it's so satisfying, making to-do lists and then crossing them off as you get stuff done. It is very satisfying. But yeah, I have yet to make one for cleaning. Still debating whether or not I should do it. My pillows are looking a little flat nowadays. When I first bought them, they were very fluffy. And so I do want to invest in some nice pillows that, for our heads to sleep on, because I know we have the decorative ones. But I do want to invest in some nice ones, but I haven't had time to do the research because I have seen pillows, at Marshall's and Ross and all these places, and they are a little bit pricey, but I just don't want to blindly spend my money on something that I don't even know if I would like it or not. And then I don't want to go out on a hunt for pillows because them $5 pillows at Kohl's, they be getting me. And so I see them there and I'm like, oh, okay, it's cheap. But like I said, they look fluffy when I first buy them. But of course, as we use them, they do start to flatten out. And they're not memory foam or anything special. They're just your regular pillows. So like I said, I would like to buy like some nice ones, but I don't know if I would want like a feather fluffy one or, like I said earlier, like a memory foam one. I just don't know. I remember first moving into this house. I think we had an old vacuum, and this one we had bought brand new. And I guess our carpet in our old house, in the one that we were renting, was not as fluffy because I remember just using our old vacuum at any setting on that carpet and it was working. But this one, I had put it, I think, on the lowest setting, like 1 or 2. And I remember trying to vacuum before we were going to move in, because Michael had wanted to shampoo all of the carpets first before we moved in. And so I remember vacuuming, and I was pregnant, and I see why they don't want pregnant women vacuuming, because I remember it was so hard to push the vacuum, and I had it on the 1 or 2 setting, which was the lowest. And oh my God, it was so hard. And so before I could even do anything else, I remember just stopping. But the reason it was so hard to push was because I had it on the lowest setting, but this carpet was still nice and fluffy because they had just gotten new carpets. I think it's been it was like a couple years that they had it before they put the house on the market. And so for this, we actually had to use like the higher setting. I think it's literally called like high carpet. So it was much easier to vacuum once I changed that setting. I guess it's like the brush setting or something. Okay, so the fridge now, it gets put on the back burner just because, I've got all this artwork and all these papers on with magnets. In the beginning, I didn't want to put anything on there, but it just felt so plain and empty. And I'm just like, well, that's not really reminiscent of my life. I'm not saying you got to put your life on the fridge, but it's like I have little kids and, well, not little kids. I have a little kid and a teenager now, but I just have stuff from when he was little that he would draw and color. They draw pictures, they color, and as you can see, I get little homemade gifts from the school, like for Mother's Day. Michael gets the same thing for Father's Day. We get cute stuff around the holidays. And I love all that, and I just want to display it for everyone to see, for them to see. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but yeah, the fridge, it just gets put on the back burner because I don't feel like, taking everything off. Gotta wipe it down, let it dry for a little bit. Not that it's like soaking wet after I wipe it, but, just let it dry. That way you're not putting magnets onto a wet surface and paper on the wet surface. And I just use that same stainless steel cleaner and polish that I use for my stove and the dishwasher. Okay, so who else's kids got to stay home last Monday and Tuesday due to the Election Day holiday? I totally overlooked this on my son's school calendar. And I like to screenshot the calendar and then I heart it so that way it stays in my favorites because my favorites folder on my phone, like it has a lot, of course it does, but not too many. So any important stuff, I just heart it, but then I also heart, favorite photos as well. But I'm not really sitting down going through, favorite photos, but I will heart one, if we take one and I see that I loved it, I like to put it in that folder. But yeah, I totally overlooked that. I mean, I was happy for him that he got a 4-day weekend because he didn't just get Tuesday off, he got Monday and Tuesday off. And he did have a long weekend. He had his volleyball practice Friday night. He had a little volleyball camp on Saturday for about 3 hours. And then he had practice again on Sunday for a couple of hours. So I think it is a well-deserved break for him. But with me working from home, I just feel bad because, I have to stay in work mode. And I don't want to say he's on his own, but, he's just got to hang out while mommy gets stuff done. But one of the things that I did have to account for that weekend was to make sure that he was good for lunch because he does not like to take his lunch to school. He usually eats whatever the school is serving, so I don't have to worry about that for the most part. And so when he's home, I have to worry about it because basically, I'm the school, so I got to make sure that I've got meals for him that he'll actually eat. And so for the most part, I like to keep all the frozen stuff just as snacks, like for when he comes home from school, not really like for lunch, unless there's absolutely, nothing in the fridge, no meals prepped. Then of course, yes, like he'll eat pizza rolls or some chicken nuggets or cheese sticks. But for the most part, I like to keep those as snacks. But if needed, I'm not opposed to using it for lunch for him. Also, that past weekend, of course, went grocery shopping actually on Sunday, but that kind of helped me out because the clocks went back an hour. So that extra hour really helped me. And the grocery store was actually pleasant around the time that I went. Usually it's not, but I think the time change helped me out. Because, yeah, me and Mike were like, okay, well, who's going to go grocery shopping? Let's paper, rock, scissors. But I kind of wanted to get out of the house. And so, of course, I ended up going. And, yeah, the grocery store was so pleasant. And we had to get everything for meal prep. And the meal we did last week, oh, my God, it was so good. So we usually do spaghetti squash with red sauce and then ground beef and mushrooms, all that good stuff. But last week, I just wanted to switch it up. So Michael ended up making the spaghetti squash, but with Alfredo sauce instead and some chicken breast. And then we also added mushrooms to it and, of course, some angel hair pasta. That's kind of been our favorite pasta here lately. And so when he meal prepped, he also meal prepped one for my son that got to stay home with me on Monday and Tuesday. And we had ate chicken tacos the day before for lunch. But oh my God, that meal was so good. And I need to add it to my dinner meal prep ideas list. My sister in law ended up making pho, so that was what was for dinner on Sunday night. And then usually she makes a big old pot, and so we were able to take some to go for my little one because he loves pho. And so he ended up eating that, I think, for 2 or 3 days in a row for dinner. So we were all set for that, and we actually already had some pho noodles in the fridge, so we didn't have to take any of hers. So that was good. I bought this calendar at TJ Maxx and I have had it since our last house. So I love that about it, that we've just had it for so long and it has lasted this long. But I have taken a glance at my son's volleyball schedule and I just feel like I need to upgrade to a 3-month calendar. And then I'm also debating on getting like a whole year at a glance, like poster, so I can write on that as well, because I feel like every time I turn around, I am wiping this thing off and putting the new month on. The time is just going by so fast. But then also, I just like to see what's ahead, and I just need to get my mind right as to where I need to be on what days, where we need to be on what days. One of my old bosses, when I worked in hotel sales, she had 2 large whiteboards in our office, and she kind of rigged it to put, 3 months on there. And then she had like one space just for like random notes and stuff we needed to do. And then she also had, the big year at a glance. But oh my God, I loved it so much because everything that I needed to do, places I needed to be, like work wise, was just always in my face because, it was there like in front of our desks. And I see why she did it because, oh my God, not saying I don't have my life together now, but I had my work life together back then because of that board. And so I don't know what to do. I don't know if I want to buy like a small one that has like 3 months condensed on it, or if I need to go balls to the wall like she had. I would like to keep it here in this area where that calendar is. So I'm just going to see what I decide to do. I need to start shopping for that because the 1 month just is not going to cut it. Here I am just getting some laundry put away, and oh my God, this particular week that I'm doing this voiceover, I feel so lost with laundry because Michael actually did both the boys' laundry this past weekend. I don't know what I was doing. I think I just got really behind on everything, and so he just decided to help me out with that. Well, not even help out. I mean, they're his kids too, so But just for the most part, I do it since, I am able to work from home. And so therefore, before I get clocked in, sometimes I'll throw something in the washer, or during lunchtime I'll throw something in the washer and then, put it in the dryer, get it dried while I'm working. It's just one of those things that I can multitask on while I'm working. And so, yeah, like how can he do that if he is out of the home working? But I just got so behind and he did all of that. And so now the laundry room, like it's just, not that there's a specific way to hang something. It's a hanger, it's a shirt, whatever, but there's just stuff that I see hanging that I just wouldn't hang that way. Like it's just so funny walking through the laundry room right now. Some of my stuff, oh my God, he even washed some of my stuff. Oh my God, what happened? Like, I don't know. I guess work must have been crazy busy. Because don't get me wrong, like when work is crazy busy, then nothing gets done. I lock myself in the office and just plug away all day. I come down to eat lunch for about 30 minutes, just to get away from the screen as well and take a mental break. But man, work must have been crazy. Usually Michael will wash, dry, hang, and fold his clothes, but I think this day I probably needed the washer for something, and then I needed to get his stuff out of the dryer, and he may have left it from the night before or something. Because honestly, for the most part, I do not like to deal with his drawers because I just feel like they're bursting at the seams, and I have been trying to tell him, like, you need to go through your stuff and see what you like, see what you don't like, get rid of some stuff. But honestly, I cannot be too mad at him because I'm the same way. Like I keep stuff that I think I might wear again, or, oh, this is just out of season, I'll save it for next season. But here lately, some fashion trends have been coming back. I'm kind of scared to get rid of stuff that might come back. But for the most part, stuff that doesn't fit me, I definitely toss it out or donate it. Here, I am just emptying out our humidifier. I do try to empty it out every day just because there have been times that I don't for a few days and it gets really disgusting. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for being here and for coming along with me to clean and get some laundry put away. I hope this video gave you some motivation, and I hope you have a great day, night, week, weekend, or whenever you are watching this. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I will see you next time.